Hello everyone, I'm Auntie Kara, but this video is not for kids. This is another edition of book reviews for grown-ups who love fairy tales. Today we are going to be talking about The Birth House by Ami McKay. And this is a book that deals with midwifery, and Ami McKay is a Canadian author, Canada, who lived in Nova Scotia, and her home, she learned, had been a birth house once upon a time. So that inspired her to look into the local tradition of midwifery, and that is what this story came from. This is a really cool book. I'd rate it 4.2 out of 5. I had a great time with it. It is excellent writing. It has a little bit of history thrown in there. It has a little bit of midwifery and herbalism thrown in there, as well as kind of the painting an excellent picture of the cultural landscape of Nova Scotia at that time. Some things I loved about it were the characters. Dora Rare is the main character, and she is spunky, and she is knowledgeable, and she is curious, and she is strong, and she wants to help people as much as she can. She's just an overall great female character. And she learned to be a midwife under the tutelage of Miss B. And Miss B is, I believe, of like French Cajun descent. So the way she does midwifery is very rooted in, earth-based practice, working with plants and herbalism, but there's also some like Catholic French spiritualism, ritualism thrown in there. So that part of it was very magical and very cool, and I really enjoyed the birth scenes and seeing how they would deal with the different challenges that came up. I really enjoyed that while this is a fiction book, they put a lot of real historical situations in it. So they deal with pardon me, the 1918 influenza pandemic. They deal with the Halifax explosion and even the molasses flood in Boston, which I didn't know about previous to reading to this, but was really interesting to look into. So yeah, it does a great job of painting a picture of Nova Scotia world. This is my kitten Brina, by the way. Around the time when women were transitioning from having their babies in their home with midwives to being encouraged to do it in outside the home medical facilities with doctors, and what that kind of looked like, and how the medical procedures worked at that time versus how they work right now. I'm a bit of a nerd with midwifery and labor and birthing in general, so all of this was right up my alley. I'm going to read you a little section, just something at the beginning so you can get a sense of the writing style. There it is. Alright, here we go. Ever since I can remember, people have had more than enough to say about me. As the only daughter in 5 generations of Rares, most figure I was changed by fairies, or not my father's child. Mother works and prays too hard to have anyone but those with the cruelest of tongues doubt her devotion to my father. When there's no good explanation for something, people of the Bay find it easier to believe in mermaids and moss babies, to call it witchery and be done with it. Long after the New England's planter's seed wore the Micmac out of my family's blood, I was born with coal-black hair, cinnamon skin, and a caul over my face. A foretelling, a sign, a gift that supposedly allows me to talk to animals, see people's deaths, and hear the whisperings of spirits, a charm for protection against drowning. When one of Laird Jessup's Highland heifers gave birth to a 3-legged albino calf, talk followed and people tried to guess what could have made such a creature. In the end, most people blamed me for it. I had witnessed the cow laying her calf to the ground. I had been the one who ran to the Jessups to tell the young farmer about the strange thing that had happened. Dora talked to ghosts. Dora ate bat soup. Dora slit the devil's throat and flew over the chicken coop. My classmates chanted that verse between the slats of our garden gate, along with all the other words their parents taught them not to say. Of course, there are plenty of schoolyard stories about Miss B too, most of them ending with, if your cat or your baby goes missing, you'll know where to find the bones. It's talk like that that made us such good friends. Miss B says she's glad for gossip. It keeps folks from coming to places they don't belong. Alright, so that was my review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you've read it, or if you do read it, please leave me a comment below. I love to hear back. I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Ta-ta for now.